Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to episode number 115 of GoRainbowRadio.com. I am your host, Tim Corrimal, once again coming to you from the fabulous neighborhood of Logan Circle here in Washington, D.C. And Go Rainbow Radio is sponsored by Cap Records. Be sure to check out my sponsor over at caprecords.com, that's CAPPrecords.com. You can also check out their MySpace page over at myspace.com/caprecords. Well, everyone, this is your show for Sunday, August 24th, 2008, and I have a very special guest on the show this week. My guest is Thomas from Hyperforce Music. Thomas is an up-and-coming trance music artist coming to us from Norway, and he's got some great music to share with us today. He's going to be joining us on the show right after we hear his song, Mona, and Thomas and I will be with you right after this.
Welcome to my world. This is our special kind of world. Welcome to my world. This is our special kind of world. Welcome to my world. This is our special kind of world.
And that was Mona by Hyperforce, and I'm joined today with Hyperforce Music. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Why don't you tell us about the song we just heard, Mona, and about yourself and who Hyperforce Music is?
Yeah, the song you just heard is a song I dedicated for my girlfriend that I love very much.
And her name is Mona?
Her name is Mona, yes.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the inspiration for the song.
The inspiration for the song is about the feelings that I have for that girl and how much I love her, really.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really great. Really great. Now, tell us about where you're from.
I'm from a city called Bryne in Rogaland, Norway.
Oh, in Norway. Wow, cool.
Yes.
Ooh, cool. Well, it's great having you on the show today. I heard about you from our good buddy Gaz Reynolds over at World Domination Records quite some time ago, and I think we were going to actually do an interview with you quite back in the spring, but something happened and we got a little delayed. But we're glad to finally get you on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about you yourself as an artist. Now you're a fairly young guy, huh?
Yes, I am. I'm just 18 years old.
You're 18. Wow, cool. So tell us, how did you get into this music business at such a young age?
When I was 14 years old, I began to play at some school discos and Christmas party as a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted to do more than that, so I asked around if anyone knew about a program to make music with. And one of my friends recommended a program named Fruity Loops 4.
Fruity Loops?
Fruity Loops, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I did a lot of practice and spent nights after nights just to figure out how to make a whole song that was good enough. It started just as a hobby, but one day I realized that I wanted to do more with my music. So I started slowly to talk with other artists on the net like Dan J, Flowtex and Mike Wind, to name a few. I listened to other artists' tips and then I just started to produce and train harder and of course more often to improve myself for the other artists. And that's how I decided to become a musician.
Wow, cool. Well, now I have to say, your music, I was very surprised at how young you are, because your music really, really sounds very, very advanced. It's quite amazing. Wow, you started at 14, you've come along for 4 years. Wow, and it's just amazing how you're professional and everything. Your music really, really sounds. So you mentioned that you trained hard. Did you get a lot of help from anyone, or did you just sort of learn on your own and put your own style to it?
I didn't get much help, really. I have been on my own foot with music all the time, and I just listened to others, producers and professional artists, and tried to do the same things and make my own style of music.
Cool. Well, it's amazing. You've come quite along, and you're only 18, so you got a long career ahead of you. This is fascinating. So tell us about the whole process of getting involved with World Domination Records, and how you. I mean, was that the first time you ever were signed onto a label?
Yeah, the first serious label. I have been with one American label before called Electro Groove Records.
Mm-hmm. Electro Groove, is that it?
Yes, and also one in Norway, Out Now Records. Mm-hmm. And World Domination Records is the best I have been through, and it's a very, very good opportunity for me to get my music out there and get fans, I hope.
Wow, that's great. Well, I wish you the best of luck and everything. So now tell us about what your inspiration was to get into this whole music thing in the first place. You mentioned that you were listening to music and that you had talked to some friends about how to do it. What was your inspiration behind it all?
I don't know really about that because when I was 14 years old, I only listened to rock music and metal and music like that. And well, one of my friends did send me a techno song.
Mhm.
I still remember the name of it. It was Tune Up Raver's Fantasy. And I did like that song very much, so I decided I want to make music like that because I thought it was very, very easy to make techno, but it is not.
Yeah. And you've learned that lesson, I take it.
Yes.
So how many tracks does it take you on a normal production? How many tracks to get all the different sounds and everything together?
That's hard to say because it's very different
Okay.
which song I make. So
Okay. But is there like an average, say?
yeah, I use, if I can say it in different sounds, I use about 40,
Wow, 40. Okay.
40 different sounds.
Wow, cool. That's fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you have gotten to where you are today. How did you get people to hear your music?
It began with I got a profile on auroadrenalin.com.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Auroadrenalin.
Okay, is that in Norway?
No, it's I think it is a Swedish site for
okay.
music producers.
Oh, okay.
It's a very large forum for new and old music producers. So it started there.
Okay, and so what happened when you put your music up there?
I got feedbacks and tips and a lot of comments and stuff that helped me a little with my music.
That's great, because that's how we learn. So, how long would you say it was before you heard that someone had like played your music in a club or on a podcast or something?
Yeah, it was a long time ago when I had another artist name. It was DJ Elnor, a very amateur name, and I heard my song at Uhørt in Norway. It's a NRK podcast, so I heard my song there for the first time.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So and then now, as you have been getting your stuff out there, now you're with World Domination Records. You actually have your music out on several albums, and I think you have your own single out, right?
Yes, I have a album called Accelerate.
Oh, okay. Accelerate.
That was released by World Domination Records for just a while ago. So.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Well, let's play your next song, which is called Heaven in My Hands. Why don't you tell us about that before we play it for the listeners?
My inspiration behind that song was the ocean, I think. I took a long drive through the coast and, yeah.
All right, cool. So this is Heaven in My Hands by Hyperforce Music, and we'll be back with you right after this. And that was Heaven in My Hands by Hyperforce Music, and I'm joined back with Thomas from Hyperforce. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about where your music has been played all around the world?
To start with, a radio station in Sweden called Neradio, NE Radio.
Okay.
From Sweden. It's a radio station for dance, trance, and styles like that, and it has been around for a while, and it's a great opportunity to be heard by others.
Okay, cool. That's very cool. So why don't you then tell us about the music that you have for sale out there?
Yeah, my music that I have for sale right now is a CD called Accelerate, and it's released by World Domination Records.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have a new CD coming up, and it's called Volume.
Volume?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And one of the main tracks in that CD is the song you played at the beginning of this interview. The track's called Mona, yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And where can people go to buy your music if they're interested?
If there is an interest in buying my CDs and music, you can go and visit iTunes, Amazon, eMusic, Napster, and M-Tracks.
Okay. And just search on Hyperforce?
Yes.
All right, cool. I will put some links in the show notes for that so people can go on over and check that out.
Yes.
So what do you want to do long-term with your career here? I mean, you're fairly young. You're only 18 years old. You got a long career ahead of you. What's your next goal?
My next goal is that I hope I can hook up with a good vocalist and make some vocal trance tracks.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be fantastic.
Yes. I think it will be much better if I had a singer in my tracks.
Yeah, well, I certainly like vocals on the dance tracks, so that'd be fantastic.
Yes.
And I must say, your music is incredible. So I think you probably won't have any problems finding a good vocalist to work with.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, do you plan to do anything like touring your music anywhere, or setting up your own internet radio stream or anything like that?
Yeah, I hope I can get on a tour.
That would be cool. Where would you like to tour to?
Most of the world, I think. Mostly America.
You want to come see us over here in the U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like America very much.
Well, I'm sure that in New York City you would have no problems getting your music played in the dance clubs there. It's got a great beat, a great sound, so it's fantastic. So, now, are you planning to do any type of music videos or anything like that in the future for your music?
I don't know really. I hope I can do a music video one day, but I have no plans in mind right now. So.
Not right now. Yeah, well, you certainly have got plenty of time to do that. So, and it's been great having you on here today. Did you have anyone you want to thank today who's been instrumental in your short but up-and-coming career here?
Yes, I want to give a special thanks to Gaz Reynolds and World Domination Records for giving me this great opportunity with my music.
Well, Gaz is a fantastic guy, and he was just on the show a few weeks ago, so if you didn't get to hear that interview, go back and check out the episode, I think it was 112 or 113, that Gaz was on. Having him back on the show. He's a fantastic promoter, producer, artist, music artist himself, as well as the owner of World Domination Records. And that is your label now, so very cool. Very cool. Anyone else you want to thank?
Yeah, just to notice my mom and my dad for putting up with loud music and.
Are you still living at home with them?
No, I moved out now. So
cool. So they don't. So now they have a little peace and quiet.
Yes.
Anyone else you want to thank?
Yes, my girlfriend for the good support, and the same to my friends.
Oh, fantastic. I was going to say, if you don't give a shout out to your girlfriend, Mona, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. So let's talk about your websites and how people can contact you.
Yes, they can contact me through mail at hyperforce89@hotmail.com, or they can visit MySpace page. Which is myspace.com/hyperforcemusic.
All right, cool. Well, it's been great having you on the show today, Thomas, and thank you so much for joining us. We're going to close out the interview today with your song Trance Effect. So Trance Effect is targeted toward club play and getting people out there on the dance floor and getting their bodies moving and dancing.
Yes, it contains a fast melody and a fast break, so I hope it's a good dance track.
Yeah, well, it's been great having you on the show, Thomas. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It's been great to be on the show.
Please do go check out Thomas over at myspace.com/hyperforcemusic. And you can always check us out here. This is episode 115 of GoRainbowRadio.com. I am your host, Tim Corrimal. You can always send me an email at timcorrimal, that's CORRIMAL @gmail.com. You can check out the website if you're listening through an internet radio stream or through MySpace or whatever. Check us out over at GoRainbowRadio.com. And there's buttons there for all of our social networking sites where you can check us out, from MySpace to Frapper to Twitter to Flickr to all that various stuff. And definitely check us out at GoRainbowRadio.com. So thank you so much, Thomas, for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you.
And we're closing out with Trance Effect. So we will see you all next time.
Yo, give me something to dance to. Yo, give me something to dance to.
GoRainbowRadio.com, sponsored by Cap Records, a division of Cap Company.